everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Beulah Thomas. So in today's video I thought I'll share some tips, particularly for anyone who's moving to New Zealand to study or work from India. So it's a beautiful sunny day. It's a Sunday here in Wellington, New Zealand, and I am just out and about walking in the neighborhood with our kids, and I thought, why not have a little chat and record and share these tips as we are here on our walk. I've already shared a few videos on my channel about living here in New Zealand and also moving to New Zealand, and that'll be really helpful if you're looking at moving here. But I just thought I'll share some specifics just for anyone who's looking to move to New Zealand from India to study or work, because I've noticed that just in the recent months there are a lot of people who are traveling and moving here for study or work. So the first thing that I would say is that it's really important that you learn how to cook if you don't know how to cook yet. Just learning how to make things like rice, dal, roti, that's just the basics, and that's more than enough. And you can of course learn to cook more things. Now the reason why I'm saying that is because you can't just survive on toast or instant noodles, right? So just learning the basics is really important. Now if you know how to cook, that's great, because we do have Indian supermarkets here, so you don't have to bring a suitcase full of Indian groceries. If you really have to, you can bring maybe a week's worth of supplies like spices and stuff as you settle down. If you're moving here with a family, I would recommend checking out the supermarkets online, and you can even set up an account and probably even place your online order. There are Indian stores in many cities here in New Zealand, so you don't have to bring all of your spices, all right? So if you really need to, just bring a little bit to survive the first week. Now if you are going to move into a city that has no Indian supermarkets located close to where you live, don't worry, because the regular supermarkets do sell rice. They also sell dal, like tur dal, masoor dal. You can get kidney beans and things like that. So you can get the basics to make the food that you need, and you can also get all the Indian spices in the spice aisle. I also want to tell any woman or mom who's watching this video, if you are packing up currently and are getting ready to relocate to New Zealand because your husband got a job and you guys are gonna settle down here, if you don't know how to drive yet, make sure you get some driving lessons before you leave India. Whether you're planning to stay at home and be a full-time stay-at-home mom, or you're planning to work, whatever the case might be, just having the ability to drive to get to places is amazing. Whether it's for yourself, or if you need to take your kids to swimming lessons or to the mall or anything, or to the school, it'll be really helpful. So I highly recommend you know how to drive before you arrive here in New Zealand. You will of course have to get a New Zealand driver's license eventually, but just knowing how to drive sets you up. The third thing that I would recommend that you start thinking about is budgeting and the expenses. You might have a rough idea of how it's going to be when it comes to like rent and things like that, so start thinking through that. I also highly recommend to arrive here in the country, whether you are here to study or to work, with just a little bit of money in your bank account just to help you out. So I think it's really important that you start planning your budget, and also you're not struggling when you arrive here and living on instant noodles and all of that. So I highly recommend that you start thinking about it. I know it's really exciting when you are planning to move out of your country to another country, but it's also quite hard when your finances are tight. So I would highly recommend that you start planning so you are smart with your money when you get here. The next one that I would recommend is joining Facebook groups in the area that you're going to move to. There is groups like Indians in New Zealand. There's also Indian groups for the different cities. So start making connections even before you get here. Inquire about the suburbs that you're trying to move to. There might be properties on rent and stuff like that. So start exploring before you get into the country, and it's always great to start your networking before you get to the place. So I highly recommend, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on LinkedIn, be wise with the connections that you make, but definitely reach out to people here in New Zealand. And finally, and I think this is one of the most important, is when you're packing your suitcase, don't forget to include those Indian clothes, your desi clothes, accessories if you're a woman, your like jhumkas and your Indian bangles and all of that, because even though you may not know people just yet, I don't really need a reason to dress up in my Indian clothes these days. I just choose a day that I feel like, and I wear my Indian clothes. It's quite common for people to just wear them, and there'll always be an event, whether you're coming here to study, so in your university, or once you settle down in your local community groups or in your church or anything like that. One thing that I won't recommend packing a whole lot is thick winter jackets, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of people load up their luggages and they bring all these big puffy bright colored jackets, and then they feel uncomfortable to wear them here because maybe the colors are vibrant, or maybe it just doesn't suit the winter climate here, because you will find it slightly different. The winter is slightly different, especially if you come from India. There are some great stores here locally that you can purchase, and you can go to their outlet stores or when they have a sale on and buy a jacket. So don't come loaded up with all of those thick puffer jackets and winter clothing. Definitely bring a few, because right now it's springtime, it is sunny, there's a little bit of chill in the air. I'm comfortable, but when you first arrive here, you might want to have like a little thin sweater on or something, just to keep the chill away. So don't load up on the winter clothes. Bring just the essentials, because guess what, you'll end up shopping when you settle down here. Other thing that I would recommend buying when you come here is good dress shoes or good work shoes or even boots. There are options here. The prices might be a little bit higher than what it is in India. India has a great selection when it comes to shoes and different types of footwear. So if you want to get some sports shoes, do that, or just come prepared with a few shoes, so you don't have to just kind of like go out and buy those as well straight away. Now I also must mention about things that you can buy and bring along for your kitchen. The first thing that I would highly recommend, whether you're coming on your own or with your family, is that Indian pressure cooker, right? So you can find an instant pot here. I definitely use that right now, but in my home you'll find different sizes of pressure cookers. When I first got here, it was just my husband and I, so I had the little one, and then as the years went on and I was hosting people and we had 2 kids and all of that, I also have a really big pressure cooker. So do bring a small one at least, so you can cook your lentils, your dal, you can make a quick curry or cook rice in it or whatever you tend to make. So definitely bring that. The second thing would be, if you are into idli, dosa, bring those pans or the idli molds as well. You can get like roti pan or dosa pan or the idli mold in most of the Indian supermarkets here, but they definitely do have a higher price. So if you don't want to pay that higher cost, definitely add those things into your luggage. What I've done is, over the years, because I love to host people around for Indian food or non-Indian food, I wanted to have a collection of stainless steel plates. So that's something that I bought in with our luggage over the years. They do add weight in the luggage, so don't bring a pack of 6 or 12 all in one shot. But if you do like stainless steel plates, maybe bring a couple and then just start to add to your collection. Some of the other things that you can also bring that I have done over the years is bringing stainless steel spoons for curry or rice, like to pour rasam or sambar. They're kind of like a different type of serving spoon, so I've definitely bought those in our luggage. Really hope you enjoyed this video. I love taking you around our suburb for a little walk, as I shared some tips about what you need to do as you plan to move here to New Zealand to study or work. If you've got any questions or comment, or if you're just looking for some information, you can pop it down in the comment section below and I'll respond to it, or you can get in touch with me over on Instagram. I'll see you all next week with another brand new video. Bye!